You picked up an injured young fox immortal. When sleeping, you loved to directly hug him and inhale his fox scent. But one morning, you were awakened by the sound of a little girl's voice. "Hubby, hug me. Hubby, kiss me. Hubby, eat my mouth. Mmm." You stared dumbfounded at the mysterious white tiger Loli who was about to pounce on you with open arms. You quickly pushed the beautiful girl off the bed. The next second, the girl pouted and unfurled 9 pure white glowing tails. You looked, you touched, and now you're playing amnesia with this princess? Just as my sister said, all men are big pig trotters. HMPH. The reason for all this was that last night, while passing by the river, you found a little fox on the grass nearby that had been struck by lightning. Seeing how weak the little fox looked, you decided to take him home. But the next day, as you were getting ready to take him to the vet, something unexpected happened. Looking at the little fox, who was sprawled out limply on all 4 paws, you couldn't help but feel like laughing. This little fox looked utterly devoid of desire to live. You put the little fox on the sofa and searched the house, but couldn't find a suitable container for him. Eventually, your gaze fell upon the vegetable basket hanging on the wall. You sniffed it. It seemed to have a fishy smell. Foxes like to eat fish, right? Whatever, I don't care. Come on, little guy, get in. You squatted on the ground, wanting to see if he really understood human language. The little fox turned his head away. If only I still had my demon core, I'd ram my head into you and knock you over. No, no, no! Are you trying to walk a dog? And the way you scratch yourself, it's all wrong. Don't understand? You chuckled. The after effects of drinking fake liquor are quite strong. I actually believed a fox could understand human speech. You then grabbed the scruff of the little fox's neck and lifted him, attempting to put him into the vegetable basket. The little fox immediately did a split, blocking the entrance of the basket with his hind legs, looking completely unwilling. How long has this basket not been washed? It smells fishy. How can you put this princess in a place like this? I refuse to the death. You tried many times, but the little fox always managed to block the entrance from any angle. He just wouldn't go in. Doesn't like it? The scene that followed made your eyes widen. The little fox actually pursed its lips and shook its head. It really can't understand me? Reluctantly, you had to go back to the bedroom and retrieve a backpack. I don't have a pet carrier, only this and my shopping basket. It's either this or I carry you out. With that, the little fox walked up to you, placed his small paws on the backpack, and stared at you with big round eyes. Seeing this, you opened the backpack. To your surprise, the little fox obediently walked inside. After a moment of bewilderment, you slung the backpack onto your chest, leaving a few centimeters of opening for ventilation, and headed out the door. In a flash, you arrived at the pet hospital. You were greeted by a sweet-looking young nurse with a lovely smile who asked what service you needed. You glanced at her name tag. She was an intern. No wonder she was so enthusiastic. Every bit of this was seen by the little head sticking out of the backpack. His eyes, originally content and lazy, gradually became sharp. Human men are indeed no good. After having his fun, he turns around and can't take his eyes off a pretty girl. What's this called? Oh, right, my sisters said it's a scumbag, a big pig trotter, a player. This girl isn't a good thing either, smiling so brightly. Fox spirit, tui, tui, tui. Little demoness. After hearing your needs, the young nurse led you to the doctor's office. Both the doctor and the nurse were surprised when they discovered you had a fox in your bag. It's rare to see people keeping foxes these days. After an examination, the doctor confirmed the little fox was very healthy, just a bit dirty, and suggested having their professional staff bathe him. With your agreement, a young man walked in, beaming with a gentle smile, attempting to take the little fox away. It was then that the unexpected happened. The previously docile little fox's eyes instantly turned fierce. He raised his sharp claws and opened his pointed teeth. After several attempts, the man realized he couldn't even get close. His arm was even scratched, drawing blood. You were surprised by this too. Since you met the little guy, he had been quite gentle around you. You never expected such a fierce side. The young nurse stepped forward to try, but the reaction was the same. "He was on your lap during the examination. It seems he's only docile around his owner," the doctor noted. "How about this? Give me the tools and I'll wash him myself." Worried that the little fox might have a stress reaction if this continued, you reluctantly suggested it. "That's the only way," they agreed. And so, the next scene unfolded. You, a former vice president of a listed company, were sitting on a small stool in a pet hospital, scrubbing a little fox. If your buddies saw this, you'd never be able to hold your head up again. "Human, I'll allow this one last time because you saved me. Dare to touch me again and I'll end you." "Oh, that's nice. Scratch here too. Don't touch here." Seeing how gentle the little fox was with you, the guiding staff member couldn't help but sigh. "Sir, your pet is truly only docile with you. I've seen many people who keep foxes, and while they're close to their owners, I've never seen one like yours." "Yes." You stammered awkwardly. "Could you tell him that this little thing was just pulled out of the river last night?" "Pooey, tooey. Who's gentle with him? If I had my demon core, who would bother staying with him? And he's not my owner. No one in this world is fit to be this princess's owner." A few minutes later, a brand new little fox was revealed. You had thought he was a white fox, but now you noticed he had pink markings on his body and a plum blossom-shaped mark on his forehead. "Sir, your fox must be very expensive, right? I've never seen a specimen with such markings," the staff member couldn't help but exclaim. This little fox looked like it had walked right out of a movie. "He's quite expensive," you casually fibbed. Even you hadn't expected the fox you picked up to be so beautiful. When you leaned in to sniff him, the fresh, light scent you smelled before was even stronger. It seemed to be naturally emitted. Hearing the conversation, the little fox proudly raised his small head. "This immortal fox is Su Xiaoqi, the 7th princess of Immortal Fox Mountain. It is your great fortune to be able to see me." You unceremoniously grabbed the scruff of his neck and put him back into the backpack. As you reached the entrance, the young nurse stopped you. The next second, she shyly held out her phone, showing a QR code for a messaging app. "See? Can I add your contact information? I really love pets too. My cat can even do a backflip. Maybe I can show you sometime." The little fox couldn't understand what a QR code was, but he understood the rest. Indeed, a little demoness. She's brazenly flirting with a man. "Jiang Luo, I forbid you to agree. You've seen my whole body and touched my whole body. If you dare flirt with other women, once I get my inner core back, I will definitely end you." Looking at the QR code, you felt like you were looking at an ancient relic. "I'm sorry, I lost my phone yesterday. The new one only has Alipay, a payment app." A hint of disappointment flashed in the nurse's eyes, but she quickly rallied her courage. "Alipay is fine. Add me when you download it." You were stunned. Are today's post-2000s people this bold? In the end, you added the nurse's Alipay. What you didn't notice was that the little fox in the bag was about to explode with rage. "Stinky Jiang Luo! He's flirting with another woman right in front of this princess. According to the rules of Immortal Fox Mountain, I must not only execute you, but also cut you up before I do." Upon arriving home, you saw a slender, beautiful figure standing at the door, Liu Ruyan. Her presence here was rare. She had only visited a few times over the years and always left quickly, as if your place was dirty. You knew instantly why she was here. It had to be about the deleted documents. Soon, Liu Ruyan spotted you and angrily walked over. "Jiang Luo, are you even a man? I gave you all the respect, yet you pull these little stunts behind my back. Deleting documents, calling clients to cancel collaborations. I never realized you were this kind of person." Looking at the beautiful and well-figured Liu Ruyan, you used to think she was just spoiled, but now you saw past it. Yes, you deleted the files, but they were originally your own. As for contacting clients, you would never stoop to such a petty trick. The two of you had known each other since university, and with 3 years post-graduation, it had been 6 or 7 years. To accuse you without even asking questions. Now, without the filter of your moonlight crush. Liu Ruyan was nothing special, perhaps even unbearable. You were remarkably calm, perhaps even indifferent. You simply said, "Get lost." "Jiang Luo, are you crazy? You told me to get lost." Liu Ruyan was incredulous. Was this the same Zhang Luo who used to be subservient to her and was in love with her? "This is my home. If you can't understand human language, I suggest you get a hearing aid. With your status as the eldest daughter of the Liu family, you might even get a 38% discount." With that, you walked around her to enter the room, but Liu Ruyan quickly spread her arms, blocking your path again. "If you don't hand over the backup files today, don't even think about leaving. The documents belong to the Liu group. Don't make me report you. This is intellectual property infringement and a crime. Don't force me to be ruthless," Liu Ruyan threatened. You sneered. "If you suspect I took anything from the group, feel free to sue me in court at any time. As for the documents you mentioned, I'm sorry, I only cleared out the things I created. I didn't touch a single thing that belonged to the group." Liu Ruyan fell silent. The group's legal department had already confirmed that the situation was exactly as you described. You only deleted files unrelated to the group. Even in court, they couldn't touch you. Everything she just said was a bluff to scare you. "You must have a backup! Monitoring shows you transferred the files to your phone," Liu Ruyan blurted out. You chuckled self-mockingly. You didn't realize your office was monitored. That meant you had been under surveillance by the Liu family all this time. Liu Ruyan must have been unaware of that fact. Realizing her mistake, Liu Ruyan immediately changed her tone. "Hand over the documents. The Liu family is willing to pay 1 million yuan for them. No, Zhang Luo, don't push it. Up to 5 million yuan. Those files are useless to you. If you don't hand them over, the Liu group will work with all related companies in Jiangcheng to blacklist you. Don't force me. If you want them so badly, go look for them in the city moat. I threw my phone into the moat last night. I have no idea where it's drifted to now. Besides, even if I found it, I'd give it to you for free as an engagement gift." With that, you reached out, parted the woman in front of you, opened the door, and walked into your room. This time, Liu Ruyan didn't follow. Based on her understanding of you, you were probably telling the truth. Liu Ruyan truly hadn't expected you to be so ruthless. The moat was huge. Finding a single phone would be impossible. Thinking of this, Liu Ruyan regretted not transferring the files before firing you. Inside the room, you acted as if nothing had happened, leisurely pouring pet food into a bowl for the little fox. Seeing no reaction from him, you thought he might be thirsty, so you warmed up a bowl of sweet milk for him. Afterward, you sat alone on the sofa and turned on the TV. The screen paused on a "Purchase VIP" prompt, and you just sat there, looking lost in thought or simply spacing out. The little fox stared at the dull, gray food in the bowl, then at the milk. He cautiously licked the milk. The next second, his eyes lit up. "It's so good. Much better than Aunt Cow's milk. It's sweet." He then drank the entire bowl of sweet milk, rubbed his belly contentedly, and closed his eyes in pleasure. "Should I go comfort him? He looks quite sad." The little fox looked at the empty milk bowl. "For the sake of this delicious milk, this princess will stoop to comforting you." Having made up his mind, the little fox took light steps to the sofa, leaped onto it, and settled beside you. He rubbed his little head against your thigh, making ying 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 sounds. Normally, when his father was angry, this move always cheered him up. "Doesn't the little guy like the food?" You noticed the fox only drank the sweet milk and hadn't touched the pet food you bought. "Who wants to eat that ugly stuff? They look like little pellets of feces. Even though they smell good, I'm a princess. How can I eat pet food?" While the little fox was grumbling, you suddenly picked him up and held him in your arms. "Zhang Luo, let me go. I just wanted to comfort you because you look sad. I'm not selling myself. Don't stroke my head. That's this princess's tail. Pervert. This princess's feet are free to go." No matter how the little fox squeaked, you only heard ying ying ying. A fox pouting is indeed cute, especially such a beautiful one. After playing with him for a while, the little fox lay sprawled out on your lap, a hint of enjoyment in his eyes. "I have to admit, Zhang Luo's technique is pretty good. My whole body feels tingly and comfortable." You looked at the little fox in your arms, a satisfied smile on your face. It seems raising a fox is similar to raising a dog or a cat. "So cute!" Your mood instantly improved. You picked up a snack, ate it, and flipped through the channels. Tale of the Immortal Cultivator has so many seasons now. Fox Spirit Matchmaker is also updated, and the romance in Soul Land is good. Forget it, I'll get a subscription. After subscribing to the VIP service, you held the little fox and watched Fox Spirit Matchmaker together. Lu Ruyan used to always say you were worthless, a grown man watching such a childish cartoon. Only now did you realize you were wrong. You shouldn't have gotten involved with Liu Ruyan in the first place. She claimed there was no definition of beauty and that her clothing was her freedom, yet she couldn't tolerate your small amateur hobby. One person and one fox stared intently at the TV screen, the little fox watching with great interest. He didn't even mind when you rubbed his belly. When the episode ended, the little fox was even more impatient than you. He extended a paw and tapped the remote, hoping you would quickly change to the next episode. A moment later, you left the little fox alone on the sofa and walked straight to the kitchen. Soon, the sound of running water and activity could be heard. The little fox was still engrossed in the TV when her eyes landed on the snacks nearby. They seemed quite tasty when you were eating them. She reached out a paw, trying to tear open a bag of spicy fishtail jerky, but found she couldn't. Unwilling to give up, she glanced towards the kitchen. A flash of pink light shimmered, and the little fox transformed into her human form. She grabbed a nearby bath towel and wrapped it around herself, then eagerly tore open the spicy jerky and took a bite. But quickly, the little fox's face flushed crimson, and she frantically stuck out her tongue. "Spicy! Spicy! So spicy!" Hearing the commotion in the living room, you walked out with a kitchen knife in hand. You looked around and saw the scattered fishtail jerky on the floor, and the little girl turning in circles on the sofa, sticking out her tongue. How did she open it? You were slightly confused as you cleaned up the fishtails. You definitely hadn't opened them. That's what you get for being greedy. I'll make you some fish later. You then picked up the little fox. Seeing that she was still sticking out her tongue, you mercilessly laughed at her. After setting the little fox down, you poured out half a bowl of sweet milk and placed it in front of her before returning to the kitchen. As soon as you left, the little fox immediately transformed back into her human form, grabbed the milk bowl, and drank it down in large gulps. Phew! Wiping the milk from the corner of her mouth, the little fox sighed in relief. That's better. But when she turned her head to the kitchen, she saw a person standing there, staring at her in shock. Who else could it be but you? You weren't an idiot. There's no way you wouldn't have noticed something strange. You were certain you heard a young girl's voice from the living room, so you decided to hide behind the door and wait. As soon as you came out, you saw this scene. "Ah-ya-ya!" The little fox was the first to react. She quickly grabbed the bath towel from the sofa, covering her body. "No looking! Don't look! Turn around!" Coming back to your senses, you quickly closed your eyes and turned your back. "What? Who are you? Why are you in my house?" In your heart, you already had the answer, but years of education told you there might be some kind of misunderstanding. However slim the possibility, it was still hard to imagine that the fox you rescued could turn into a person. Didn't they say no animal spirits after the founding of the country? Don't you dare turn around. The little fox's face was completely red, the blush spreading to her earlobes and neck. She could have rationalized that he only saw her in her original form, but now he had seen her human body too. Okay, I won't turn around." You waited for a long time, then tentatively asked, without turning around, Is it okay now?" Only after receiving an affirmative reply did you carefully step out of the kitchen. As the girl in front of you slowly came into focus, your eyes widened. She had an exquisitely sculpted face, skin like pristine jade, so delicate it seemed to break if touched. Her large peach blossom eyes had lashes that fluttered like butterfly wings. For a moment, you were mesmerized. "What are you looking at?" "Look again, and this princess will dig out your eyeballs." Don't think I won't dare!" The little fox spoke fiercely, but her body couldn't stop trembling slightly. You were initially quite nervous, but having seen a lot of people and things, you could tell right away if someone was bluffing. Cute, though. "Are you that little fox?" you cautiously asked. "What if I am? It really is you." You took a deep breath. Your worldview, built over 20-something years, instantly collapsed. You had actually encountered a Yao, demon/spirit, and one that could transform into human form. You didn't seem overly excited, nor did you let down your guard. Although this little spirit looked harmless to humans and animals, She was a spirit nonetheless. No one could guarantee that this appearance wasn't a disguise, especially since she was a Huli Jing. Fox spirit. Fox spirits in movies are the most cunning and best at disguising themselves. You certainly didn't want your head to be twisted off and your vital essence drained. Therefore, you kept a tight grip on the kitchen knife in your hand. The two of you stared at each other in the living room for a long time. Finally, you spoke first. "How about we talk?" You motioned towards the sofa with your eyes, then walked over to the dining table, pulled out a chair, and sat down. The little fox, having taken human form, also sat on the sofa. Without her inner core, she was just an ordinary human now, and her legs would get numb if she stood for too long. "Where are you from, spirit?" you asked, tentatively. "This princess is not a spirit. I am an immortal fox from Immortal Fox Mountain." The little fox put her hands on her hips, her pink lips pouting high as she explained seriously. "Also, I have a name. I'm Xixen. You can also call me Seventh Princess." "Seventh Princess?" You were silent for a moment. This meant there were at least 6 other spirits like her. Are spirits this rampant these days? Or is it just that ordinary people like me are kept in the dark? No wonder the internet says that if spiritual energy were to return, a bunch of max-level masters would suddenly pop out. "Xiaoqi, where is your home? I'll give you some money, and you can take a cab back." You didn't even know what you were saying. All in all, this little fox who could transform into a human was definitely not simple, and it was best to send this great Buddha away as quickly as possible, lest more trouble arose later. You definitely didn't want a fox king to appear. Although the girl was indeed very beautiful, you knew you couldn't handle her, and certainly didn't believe the cliché that she would repay your life-saving kindness by marrying you. Even if she offered, you wouldn't dare accept. This kind of being, according to the internet, could absorb your vital essence. Xixen didn't know you had already imagined an entire drama series. All she knew was that you seemed to be trying to kick her out. You human men are truly all the same. Xixen was puffing up her cheeks like a squirrel stuffed with food. You didn't know what you did wrong. You saved her, and now you offered her money for a cab home. And she wasn't happy? Did she really intend to absorb your vital essence? HMPH. Do you think I'm keen on staying here? If I hadn't lost my inner core, I could go back myself. After saying this, Xixen immediately regretted it. At the same time, you realized she was indeed bluffing, so she lost her inner core. No wonder she seemed to lack confidence. Quote, "Help me find my inner core. Once I find it, I'll go back," Xixen said proudly, folding her arms across her chest and turning her head away. "Please, how would I know where your inner core is? I don't even know what it looks like. How am I supposed to find it? It glows at night. It's very easy to find." Xixen was surprisingly well-behaved when asking for help, blinking her eyes in a cute, simple way. She looked a little adorable again. "Why don't you go back first and let your family help you find it? They must have better methods than I do." You subtly turned your face away. She really is a fox spirit. Just one look makes my heart flutter. "No! I ran away! If Father King finds out I lost my inner core, he'll punish me severely. I must find my inner core before I can go back." Xixen was too inexperienced in front of you, and in just a few sentences, she had revealed so much information. This, Father King, must be the Fox King. That only strengthened your resolve to send Xixen away quickly. Xixen might be simple, but who knew what that old fox was like? You couldn't believe that someone who could live into this technologically advanced age would be easily dealt with. To be honest with you, what you described, objects that glow at night, are countless in Jiangcheng. Even if that inner core were as big as a basketball, finding it wouldn't be easy. Xixen frowned and sank into thought. Her sisters had told her the same thing. Her only source of knowledge about the human world came from her sisters' stories. She had always been kept by Father King on Immortal Fox Mountain, and was forbidden to leave before she fully transformed, except under special circumstances. After a moment of contemplation, Xixen suddenly looked up. "You're right. With my own ability, I definitely can't find the inner core, and I might even get myself into trouble. But don't I have you to help me?" I heard that person call you boss this morning. You must be quite capable, Jiangluo. Su Xiaoqi cast a clear, trusting look at you. Who said I would help you find your inner core? I'll be leaving this city in a while. You thought you had reasoned with her, but she was now focused on you. No, you have to help me. Su Xiaoqi put her hands on her hips, pouting. Why? You said exasperatedly. I've already helped you enough. You'd probably still be floating in the river right now if it weren't for me. Quote, you did save me, but you also saw my whole body, and you touched my whole body. So you must take responsibility for me. Yesterday, you were soaking wet, and I helped you dry off, worried you wouldn't make it. Today was just an accident, and I didn't mean to look. As for touching you, you were the one who rubbed against me, and didn't you enjoy it too? You. Su Xiaoqi was so angry she was incoherent. Why does it feel like he's the one who was wronged? The key thing was that he had a point. Here's 5,000 yuan. That should be enough for a taxi, even if your home is in Xi'an. But I have to warn you, take a legitimate taxi, not a black cab, in case someone gets the wrong idea. You then took out a wad of cash and placed it on the table. You even gave her a final, well-meaning warning. I'm not going. In short, unless you help me find the inner core, I won't leave. If she went back now, even if she wasn't punished, Father King would definitely confine her to solitary confinement, which could last for years. She didn't want to go back to the boring Immortal Fox Mountain. Suit yourself, I won't help you find it. Seeing this, your patience was running thin, and you started to become impatient. You must help me find it. You looked at me and touched me. According to the rules of Immortal Fox Mountain, if I don't marry you, I must kill you. Considering you saved me, I won't kill you, but only if you help me find the inner core, Su Xiaoqi threatened. Zhang Luo, you were completely enraged. You slammed your hand down on the table. Su Xiaoqi, I don't care what you are, human or whatever. Kill me or slice me up, I don't care. I've helped you enough. I should never have risked my life jumping into that river to save you. Su Xiaoqi was startled by your roar and lowered her head, looking wronged. The reason she didn't talk back was that she knew she was wrong. You had kindly saved her and helped her so much, yet she was now using her life to threaten you. This is called repaying kindness with enmity, right? I'm sorry. I'll leave now. The next second, Su Xiaoqi bit her pink lip and bowed to you, then slowly walked towards the main door. Her steps were very slow, as if waiting for you to call her back. Quote, wait a minute. Hearing the familiar voice, a beautiful curve formed on Su Xiaoqi's face. Her pitiful appearance made anyone who looked at her feel pity. Seeing her like this, you felt like you had fallen for a trick. You spoke coldly. If you go out dressed like that, do you want to become a gift to nature? This is a bachelor apartment. Then what should I do? You won't take care of me. Su Xiaoqi pouted her pink lips, maximizing her wronged expression. I don't understand why you insist on clinging to me. Aren't you afraid that my beast nature will take over and I'll harbor ill intentions towards you? Don't forget, I'm a man too, you warned. You won't, Su Xiaoqi said firmly. Why? You were surprised. You had only known her for less than a day. Because you're a good person. If you were a bad person, you wouldn't have saved me. And after finding out I can turn into a person, you haven't done anything improper and have even given me advice. Those kind warnings are also true. Like just now, you must be worried about my safety, which is why you stopped me. So you are a good person. One of the few good people my sisters talked about. Even if you were a bad person, you would be a bad person with principles. You paused, your expression slightly strange. In this day and age, being called a good person was hardly a compliment. After a moment of thought, you said seriously, give me a reason why you must find the inner core before going back. I'll be locked in the solitary confinement room if I go back. Imagine being locked in a small space, only able to walk around and look at things every day. Isn't that pitiful? Su Xiaoqi had already realized that to move you, being forceful wouldn't work. Cuteness was most effective, just like with Father King. If I were in my fox form now, I could rub my head against you. I'm sure no one could resist this princess. You considered Su Xiaoqi's explanation. If it was true, she was indeed quite pitiful. I can agree to help you find the inner core, and I can allow you to continue staying here, but we must agree on 3 rules, otherwise the deal is off. Okay, no problem. Su Shaoqi agreed without hesitation, nodding her small head like a chicken pecking rice. First, while you're here, you must listen to me. Of course, you can refuse, as long as you have a reason that convinces me. Second, if we can't find the inner core, you can't blame me, because my capabilities are limited. Third, everything that happened before should be treated as if it never happened. We'll wipe the slate clean. Su Shaoqi hesitated at the last point, feeling disgruntled. Although you were a good person, you were an irresponsible scumbag. How could such a thing be treated as if it never happened? You looked and touched. Unless both of our memories are completely erased, how can we wipe the slate clean? Fine, I agree, Su Shaoqi reluctantly agreed. I'll just stay for now and worry about the rest later. Then I'll go cook first. You watch some TV here. Although the agreement was reached, having a new person, especially a little fox spirit, suddenly in the house was still a bit awkward. Half an hour later, you came out with hot food. Seeing this, Su Shaoqi leaped off the sofa and ran barefoot into the kitchen to help carry the dishes. It's all right. I've got it. No, I'm eating and drinking for free here. How can I not do any work? Su Shaoqi insisted stubbornly. All right then. Be careful not to drop anything. Huh? Are you worried about me? I'm worried that if you break something, I won't have the money to pay for the medical bill. Su Shaoqi carried the plate, pouting her small mouth as she left. The last dish was steamed sea bass. Su Shaoqi's eyes lit up when this dish was served, but remembering the spicy fishtail jerky she ate earlier, she was afraid of being burned again. Eat up. The red stuff on top is bell pepper. It's not spicy, you quickly explained, recalling Su Shaoqi's reaction to the spicy food. Really? Su Shaoqi cautiously reached out to grab the sea bass from the plate. Seeing this, you quickly grabbed her wrist. Wait, why are you using your hand to grab it? You touched me again. Su Shaoqi narrowed her eyes and glared at you. You quickly let go. I was afraid you'd burn yourself. This fish just came out of the steamer. You need to use chopsticks. I don't know how to use chopsticks. Do you know how to use a fork? No. Then how did you eat before? With your hands? You couldn't help but think of people from certain regions. This is only my 2nd day as a human. I only know how to use my hands. Su Shaoqi had seen her sisters use chopsticks, but she hadn't learned yet. 2nd day. You couldn't help but recall what happened last night. Could the reason she can transform be related to the lightning storm last night? At the mention of this, Su Shaoqi frowned. If it weren't for that lightning, how could I have lost my inner core? Learning this, you connected all the dots, and your thoughts immediately cleared up. You picked up a pair of chopsticks and began patiently teaching her. You assumed that as a spirit from China, she would quickly pick up using chopsticks, but you overestimated Su Shaoqi's comprehension. Why are you so clumsy? Woo! Seeing Su Shaoqi's wronged look, you reluctantly turned your face away. You were a person who valued efficiency and lacked patience. Normally, you would have started yelling by now. After calming down, you walked to Su Shaoqi's side. Come here. I'll hold your hand and teach you. You want to touch me again? My mother taught me this way when I was little. Do you want to learn? If not, I'll go downstairs and buy you disposable gloves. I'll learn. Even so, you touching me is a fact. Counting the previous times, this is the 2nd time now. I'm adding it to my little ledger. Having gained permission, you leaned down and held Su Shaoqi's hand. The moment your skin touched, you could feel Su Shaoqi's body tremble slightly. You were also stunned. So soft and boneless isn't just an adjective. Su Shaoqi's hand was soft, like a warm piece of mochi. Didn't you say you were teaching me how to use chopsticks? Su Shaoqi looked up at you with her big, round eyes, her head tilted. You suddenly remembered what you were doing. I'll teach you now! Your face flushed, and you quickly made an excuse to ease the awkwardness. After more than 10 minutes of guidance, Su Shaoqi had learned how to use chopsticks. Although she was clumsy, she was already doing very well. Having learned, Su Shaoqi couldn't wait to pick up a piece of fish. Jiang Luo, it's so delicious. Your cooking is excellent. This bell pepper really is sweet. If it's good, eat more. Be careful of the bones. You watched the girl intently. When Liu Ruyan came over to eat, you often cooked delicious food for her too, only to end up going to a fancy restaurant in the end. After eating quite a bit of fish, Su Xiaoqi's beautiful eyes curiously fell on the dark chicken wings, looking like she wanted to eat them, but was afraid of being poisoned. After you explained that they were Coca-Cola chicken wings, Su Xiaoqi solemnly picked up a piece and put it in her mouth. The next second, her beautiful eyes widened, and she looked at you in surprise. Zhang Luo, this is super delicious too. It's the best thing I've ever eaten. Not long after lunch, you briefly tidied yourself up. You told Su Xiaoqi, who was sitting on the sofa, you watch TV here. I'm going out to buy you some clothes and daily necessities. Su Xiaoqi was extremely reluctant. She immediately jumped up, ran to grab your backpack, and handed it to you. She transformed back into her fox body and scurried into the backpack. As you walked out the front door of the apartment and were about to hail a cab, a sweet voice suddenly called out from behind you. You turned around to see Ji Yu Wei, the landlady. The entire apartment building belonged to her family, and you heard she owned even more property. Zhang Luo, fancy seeing you. It's rare to see you out in the daytime. The next second, Ji Yu Wei walked over with a smile on her face. Landlady sister, what a coincidence. Ji Yu Wei frowned, displeased. I've told you several times, just call me Ji Yu Wei. I'm not that much older than you, so don't be so formal. Oh, Ji Yu Wei, Jai. That's better. Aren't you working today? Ji Yu Wei asked curiously. I was fired. I'm unemployed now. You were the vice president of the Liu Group. How could they fire you? Are they crazy? Let's not talk about that. Seeing this, Ji Yu Wei immediately stopped and said with a smile, Zhang Luo, if you trust me, I can introduce you to a place that is guaranteed to be 100 times better than this Liu Group. No need. Don't be so quick to refuse. Have you heard of the Sangu Group? I can introduce you to work as a project department manager there. With your ability, it's only a matter of time before you become the CEO. Sangu, you were surprised. That was a Fortune Global 500 company. Ji Yu Wei's name also had the character Ji Yu in it. Could she be connected to the Sangu Group? To be able to secure you a project department manager position with just one sentence. However, you weren't interested in any of this. Thank you for the offer, Ji Yu Wei Ji. I want to rest for a while. All right then, let me know when you change your mind. Ji Yu Wei didn't press the issue and turned to ask, where are you going? To the mall to buy some things. The mall? I need to go there too. Let's go together. Take my car. No need to trouble you, Ji Yu Wei Ji. I'll just take a cab. Quote, why are you a big man being so wishy-washy? Are you saying you despise me? How could that be? You're the goddess of so many people in this building. Then you, before you could finish. Su Xiaoqi, who was in the backpack, couldn't hold back. She poked out most of her body, glaring at Ji Yu Wei with her two round eyes, looking ready to smash her. Little did Su Xiaoqi know that what happened next would almost make her regret her existence. The next second, Ji Yu Wei exclaimed, wow, Zhang Luo, is this your pet? She's so beautiful. What kind of animal is this? Before the little fox could react, Ji Yu Wei picked her up directly. She's a fox, not just some animal, you explained exasperatedly. Why did Su Xiaoqi pop out now? Hadn't you warned her on the way not to let people see her easily? I never knew you were so loving and kept a pet. You really impress me. I'm getting more and more curious about you. Ji Yu Wei said with a slight curl of her red lips, smiling at you. This scene utterly enraged Su Xiaoqi. Old demoness, scumbag, player, big pig trotter. I just got rid of one, and now there's another? When I find my inner core and recover my magic power, I'll slice you up first. Ji Yu Wei Ji? I suddenly remembered that the bathroom fan is broken. I need to find a repairman. Have fun. I'll be going now. Feeling that the atmosphere was increasingly awkward, you quickly found an excuse to escape. You only breathed a sigh of relief when you reached a secluded area. What is it with me today? Am I jinxed with bad luck in love? Collecting yourself, you reached out and flicked Su Xiaoqi on the head. Lesson! Don't pop out without permission next time. Su Xiaoqi in the backpack whimpered, rubbing her head, her small mouth pouting up to the sky with resentment. Damn it! Flirting right in front of this princess is bad enough, but now he dares to hit me. Slice! I must slice him. Not just one, now I have to slice two. 3. Ji Wei, left standing alone, gave a captivating smile with her red lips. Even though he was a well-known executive, when it came to matters of the heart, he was a blockhead. Back then, Ji Wei had encountered a stalker who snuck into her home, attempting to molest her. Of all the people in the apartment complex, no one stepped in. Fortunately, you returned from working late and prevented the worst from happening. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unthinkable. Furthermore, many of the companies that cooperated with the Liu Group over the years did so out of respect for the Sangu Group, Ji Wei's family. Otherwise, who would risk collaborating with an arrogant, westernized company like the Liu Group? Of course, you didn't know any of this, nor did you need to know. Now that you were gone, those collaborations were no longer necessary. Liu Rian, you will regret this. Inside a department store, you had been standing outside a Victoria's Secret lingerie shop for a long time. Although you could be shameless to secure a business deal, you genuinely found this step difficult, walking in to buy lingerie for Su Shaoqi, especially alone. Would people think you were a pervert? Damn it, I'll risk it. The next second, you gritted your teeth and dove headfirst into the lingerie store. What greeted your eyes was a sea of spherical shapes and various colors, large and small. The environment was pink and girly, making your casual attire look completely out of place. "Hello, sir. Are you buying a bra or panties for your girlfriend?" So direct, you averted your eyes from the saleswoman and whispered, "Give me a variety of styles. You decide. I want 5 pieces of each, and the material should be good." The saleswoman nodded with a professional smile. "Yes, sir. May I ask your girlfriend's size? I will prepare them for you." You paused, then looked at the saleswoman and said, "The bra should be a size L, and the panties can be a size S." A short while later, the saleswoman returned with several carefully selected pieces of lingerie. She displayed them. "Sir, please take a look. Are these suitable?" "Suitable, suitable." After paying, you didn't hesitate for a moment, turning around and walking away, leaving only the crisp sound of your footsteps echoing in the store before quickly fading. When you were gone, the people in the shop couldn't hold back and burst into laughter. Even the saleswoman was covering her mouth, secretly smiling. Although you looked like a successful person, you were so shy about this sort of thing. The intimate wear she selected included a piece of lace as a small surprise. "I'm sure he'll thank me later." It took a long time for you to calm down after that experience. Your face was red all day, as if you had been drinking white wine. You vowed never to enter a women's clothing store again. You decided to handle the new intimate wear discreetly and let Su Shaoqi try them on herself later. You definitely didn't want to be mistaken for a crossdresser. Afterward, you bought some daily necessities and hurriedly left the mall. Finally, almost home. You sighed with relief as you walked through the apartment gate carrying several exquisite bags. You walked in quickly. You didn't know if it was intentional or just brand service, but for a dozen pieces of intimate wear, Victoria's Secret had given you a dozen separate packaging bags. The entire walk home felt like a photo shoot disaster. Back home, you first let Su Shaoqi out, then collapsed onto the sofa to rest. This day felt more exhausting than working. Su Shaoqi leaped onto the sofa, moved close to you, and nudged her head against you. "This is you asking me to pet you! Don't try to deny it later." You naturally reached out and stroked Su Shaoqi's head, gently pinching her chin. No wonder so many guys like keeping cats. This is what it feels like. "Ah, Stinky Zhengluo, I told you to get the clothes you were sitting on, not to pet my head." Su Shaoqi quickly reacted and dodged away, then grabbed the clothes on the sofa with her teeth and dragged them into the room. A moment later, Su Shaoqi, now dressed, bounced out of the room from a distance and pounced on you. This was the fox's unique rabbit-catching technique. However, Su Shaoqi forgot she was human now. She ended up crashing straight into your arms. By instinct, your outstretched hands automatically wrapped around her when Su Shaoqi crashed into you. Although it hurt a little, the fragrance made you completely ignore the pain. "Ah, Stinky Zhengluo, you touched me, you hugged me, and you squeezed me." The next second, Su Shaoqi jolted away from your embrace like an electric shock. Her already delicate face instantly turned red, like fresh blood. "Excuse me, you pounced on me, okay? I haven't even complained about you crushing me, and you're already biting my head off. Who told you to touch my head just now? And you even touched my face. HMPH. Didn't you bring your head closer to me and go ying ying ying? I thought you wanted me to pet your head. And all I heard was ying ying ying. You didn't say anything in human language? I told you to give me the clothes." At this moment, Su Xiaoqi felt her brain wasn't working fast enough. Clearly, I'm the one who was touched and hugged, so why does it feel like he's the one who was wronged? And she had no way to argue back. "I don't care! It's your fault no matter what." All right, it's my fault. But I only admit to touching your head just now. The rest had nothing to do with me. I didn't even move, and I heard you screaming." You pondered for a moment, then chuckled. "How about this? I'll let you touch me back. That way, we're even. How does that sound?" Su Xiaoqi stood barefoot, thinking hard for 3 seconds. Then, she walked forward angrily and tapped your head. This action left you stunned. You just said that casually. It actually worked? If this is acceptable, then... They say foxes are cunning, but this Su Xiaoqi, who could transform into an immortal fox, was so innocent. You wondered what her family had taught her. "Okay, I touched you back. So what happened just now is water under the bridge, right?" You pointed to the bags on the table. "I've bought all your stuff. Take it into the room and see if it fits." Su Xiaoqi nodded repeatedly. "Enla! Enla!" She then grabbed the bags and skipped into the room. After a long time, you shook your head helplessly. Why does this feel like a raising a girl simulation game? You decided to just treat it as adding some fun to your life until you found Su Xiaoqi's inner core. "Jiang Luo! Jiang Luo!" Su Xiaoqi's urging voice came from the room. You quickly got up to check. You walked into the room and saw Su Xiaoqi holding a piece of lacy lingerie. "Look! This dress is so pretty! But how do you wear this?" she asked excitedly. For a moment, you thought you misheard. Should she be asking me this question? You didn't even know such a style existed before this. You just asked the saleswoman to pick a few pieces, and you didn't expect this type to be mixed in. "I don't know." "Aren't you a person? How can you not know?" Su Xiaoqi asked, confused. Hearing her words, you wondered if you had just been insulted, but you had no evidence. "That's women's clothing. Why should I, a man, know how to wear it? My sister said, 'Live and learn. When I learn, I'll teach you myself.'" Su Xiaoqi's statement completely silenced you. You then took out your phone, searched for tutorial videos on a short video platform, and handed the phone to Su Xiaoqi. "Watch the videos and see which one fits best. After you try them on, take them off. Newly bought clothes need to be washed before you wear them, understood?" You never thought that you, a respected executive, would one day be teaching this online. "Aren't you going to learn with me?" Su Xiaoqi took the phone excitedly, looking up at you with a curious expression. "No interest," you said, quickly walking out of the bedroom. You then looked at the daily necessities on the table, suspecting that Su Xiaoqi wouldn't know how to use those either. And indeed, Su Xiaoqi didn't. When Su Xiaoqi was done trying on the clothes, she came running out, clutching the colorful clothes in her hands. She quickly found you and asked, "How do I wash this?" You glanced back. Thankfully, there were only 2 weirdly strange pieces. The rest were girlish pink or pure white. Do they all fit? Are they tight? If they're tight, don't keep them. Keep the others. Do you have any other questions? But that only leaves 3 pieces. The others were so pretty too. I'll buy you more another day. Thank you, Jiang Luo. You're so nice, just as nice as my sisters. Hearing this, you looked away, feeling your heart skip a beat. You said seriously, "Just don't cause me any trouble." "I know. Haven't I been very well behaved later on? I stayed in the bag the whole time you told me not to come out, even though it was so stuffy." You glanced at the backpack. It did seem a bit small. You made a mental note to buy a pet carrier later. Then you spoke to Su Xiaoqi. "I've put the water out for you, and this is the laundry detergent. Just a little bit will wash them clean." "Okay da." Excited about wearing new clothes, Su Xiaoqi was full of energy. She squatted on the small stool you prepared, carefully washing the clothes. Whenever she didn't understand something, she turned to look at you, who was standing by the door. It was then that Su Xiaoqi noticed you were a bit similar to her father king, sharp tongue but a soft heart. Her sisters said this type of man was the typical tsundere, stubborn yet easily embarrassed. Such people weren't always pleasing, even if they did a lot for you quietly. Just like you, outwardly serious but secretly caring for her. Aha! I found you out, Mr. Tsundere. I'll cut you one less time since you're so nice to me. After washing the clothes, Su Xiaoqi hung them up to dry under your guidance. In short, she was incapable of doing much, but her one advantage was her active curiosity. Late at night, Su Xiaoqi sat on the sofa, holding a shahi, likely a snack or drink, with her small white hands, completely absorbed in watching Fox Spirit Matchmaker on TV. After finishing your chores, you also sat on the sofa, logged into your messaging account, and saw dozens of messages from the top-listed contact, Liu Ruyan. You didn't bother reading them. You went straight to the top right corner and blocked and deleted her. The group of people from the Liu family received the same treatment. What are you doing? You glanced sideways and saw Su Xiaoqi peeking at you, her vertical head sneaking a look. Her round eyes were very clear. Can you teach me how to play this? You want to learn? Enna, enna. Su Xiaoqi nodded like a chick pecking rice, blinking her eyes. This simple action made you momentarily distracted. This was probably the most fox-like thing about Su Xiaoqi. She had a pure, adorable face, but her smile was captivating, like a natural seductress. Ask me nicely. Having grown accustomed to Su Xiaoqi's identity, you were no longer afraid of her. She was just a silly, sweet fox. If you really wanted to do something to her, by the time her supposed father king and sisters showed up, there would be no little fox left. Please! Su Xiaoqi didn't hesitate for a moment. She pouted her small mouth and blinked her beautiful eyes, her coaxing skills reaching a pinnacle. You instantly surrendered. All right, I'll teach you when I have time. You turned your face away, your heart pounding uncontrollably. Jiang Luo, you're the best, Su Xiaoqi said sweetly. I'll cut you one less time. Only 4 cuts left. Then, can you teach me now? Later. Aren't you looking for your demon core? Since that thing glows, nighttime is the best time to look. Let's try our luck at the city moat. I remember where you fell in. Great! You really are a super invincible good person. Su Xiaoqi excitedly jumped into your arms. When she realized what she did, she quickly let go and whispered, "This one counts for me. I'll cut you one less time." Cut me one less time for what? You were utterly confused. Just cut you one less time. Su Xiaoqi didn't elaborate. She then leaped to the ground and walked barefoot towards the door. Wear your shoes! It's uncomfortable without them. I don't care if it's uncomfortable, you still have to wear them. There are pebbles outside, and they could cut your feet at any moment. You don't want your feet to get cut, do you? Fine. Human bodies are so fragile. If I had my inner core, why would I be afraid of mere pebbles? Su Xiaoqi reluctantly put on the new slippers. Seeing that you hadn't moved, she urged, "What are you waiting for? Let's go quickly." Are you forgetting something? No, I put my shoes on. Don't you feel a bit drafty? A little. Seeing Su Xiaoqi still standing there, you took a deep breath and said helplessly, "Go get the little pants you hung out on the balcony. All human girls have to wear them." Su Xiaoqi quickly reacted and ran to follow the instruction. You felt lucky that Su Xiaoqi remembered to go into the room when she changed clothes. A few minutes later, the two of you were ready and went out. This was Su Xiaoqi's first time going out as a human, and she was unusually excited. Her small mouth chattered non-stop, and she was full of curiosity about everything around her. You seemed to have become a tour guide and commentator, explaining everything one by one. Fortunately, Su Xiaoqi learned quickly and remembered almost everything you taught her. She didn't forget to thank you either. She's a polite little fox. The late-night wind was slightly cool. Passers-by along the city moat were scattered in 2s and 3s, some running for exercise, others holding hands and chatting. In dimly lit areas, you could also spot people embracing. You told Su Xiaoqi to keep her voice down here, lest passers-by misunderstand. The two of you walked side by side along a small path. You were about to reach the spot where Su Xiaoqi fell into the water. Jiang Luo! Just as you were spacing out, Su Xiaoqi's soft whisper came to your ear. You looked back and saw Su Shaoqi pointing with her pale finger into the distance. Is that round, fluffy thing food? Su Shaoqi's beautiful eyes were fixed on the child enjoying the treat nearby. That's called cotton candy. Only children can eat it. You lied without changing your expression. Oh, is that so? Su Shaoqi lowered her head disappointedly. It looks so delicious, but he said only children can eat it. I've already transformed, so according to Immortal Fox Mountain rules, I'm an adult now, so I can't eat it. Seeing the slight changes in Su Shaoqi's expression, you only found her adorable. You didn't know how old this little fox was. She must have some years on her to transform into a human. But her mindset was like a child's. You can eat it too. It's just bad for your teeth if you eat too much at night, you said with a smile. Really? Su Shaoqi's smile instantly returned. Of course, it's true. People who aren't children can also eat cotton candy. As soon as you finished speaking, you suddenly felt a soft, boneless hand in your palm. You looked down to see Su Shaoqi, eager to eat cotton candy, pulling your hand forward. 5 minutes later, Su Shaoqi, holding a supersized cotton candy, was beaming with joy. She couldn't wait to tear off a piece and put it in her small mouth. This is so sweet! It's made of sugar, so of course it's sweet, you patiently explained. The next second, Su Shaoqi tore off a piece of cotton candy and offered it to your mouth. You eat some. I don't need it. You quickly waved your hand in refusal. Come on, eat! It's really delicious! Su Shaoqi didn't give up, moving the cotton candy a few inches closer to your mouth. Her voice wasn't loud, but her unique tone and striking appearance attracted many people's attention. Noticing this, you hesitated for a moment and then opened your mouth. Now, the looks from the crowd were not only envy, but also a hint of jealousy. Is it good? Is it good? Su Shaoqi blinked her bright eyes, looking at you expectantly. It's delicious, you nodded. It felt like you hadn't tasted a similar treat since you grew up. It wasn't that you couldn't afford it, but people would think it was childish. But when you had someone by your side, it was completely different. You felt a faint sense of pride. I told you it was delicious. Su Shaoqi was very satisfied to receive your approval. The two of you continued walking towards the bridge. Occasionally, Su Shaoqi would stop and offer you a piece of cotton candy. Here is where you fell into the water. Are you sure you lost the inner core after you fell into the water, you asked? Idiot! I'm very sure. Su Shaoqi nodded emphatically. Half an hour later, Jiangluo, did you find it? Su Shaoqi looked up at you full of anticipation. You shook your head. Then what should we do? Without my inner core, I'll ga. Father King said that once the inner core leaves the body, if too much time passes, it will dissipate on its own. At that point, my life force will also disappear with the inner core. What? You'll die? Did your Father King say how long it takes for the inner core to dissipate on its own? Shortest is only 30 to 50 years. Longest is a maximum of 1 to 200 years. You were speechless. Next time, could you finish your sentence? You're scaring me half to death with your stop-and-start answers. Isn't that scary? Su Shaoqi raised her head, her beautiful eyes instantly becoming watery. The average lifespan of people in your goblin kingdom is only 70 years, and men's is even shorter. The short time you mentioned could be my whole life. Is the goblin lifespan that short? But I don't want you to die so early, Su Shaoqi said in surprise. What? You were threatening to slice me up this morning, weren't you? You smiled knowingly. You are a good person, so I want you to live a long time. Quote, so what's your plan now? Why don't you go back and find your Father King? No! Even if I go back, I have to play enough first. So, can I interpret this as you've decided to cling to me? Even if we don't find the inner core, you won't go back? Hey! We can search and play at the same time, Su Shaoqi said sheepishly. Seeing you not speaking, she quickly added, don't worry, I won't.